Y'all already know what it is. It's your guy Border Like a Libra, and thank you for tuning in to another episode. And we're getting into the personal reading for my Sagittarius. All right, so we could break down these influences, round up these Gemini season influences, and break it down to this new moon solar eclipse influence that we're picking up this week. All right, so Sagittarius, you guys are mutable fire, ruled by Jupiter. Okay, so we're dealing with awareness, we're dealing with creativity, we're dealing with expression. Okay, we're dealing with light, we're dealing with vision, which are ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is dealing with expansion, experiences, learning from your experiences, wisdom gained from your experiences. All right, expansion. All right, philosophy, spirituality. Okay, so this is why you guys naturally, some of the more spiritually inclined signs in the zodiac, some of the more naturally philosophical signs of the zodiac, all right? Natural teachers and preachers. But when we look at Gemini season, this is your opposite sign. So you've been dealing with heavy opposite energies this whole season. A lot of the ways you naturally act and the ways that you naturally want to be seen when it comes to your sun in Sagittarius, that a lot of those actions and the things you naturally do may have came off real opposite to others recently, all right? This whole season may have dealt with some friction, resistance with some of your friends, okay? Even in if you're dating with your significant other, start to see some clashes, and most of these clashes were coming from, difference in belief systems, okay? Because when we look at Gemini is dealing with air, but it's Mercury. So it's dealing with the facts. It's dealing with information, okay? You dealing with belief, faith, spirituality, all right? More of an intuitive feel to things. So there may have been a lot of clashes or, pickup of resistance here and there when dealing with others, interacting with others, and you're tapping more into some faith. You're tapping more into, free-spirited outlook or something, or more imagination-based concept, and people may have thrown a lot of air at you, aka, people may have tried to throw your fire out, okay, with heavy information, logic, making you think more rationally, more technical, possibly more boxed. Okay, you may have dealt with scenarios in your surroundings. It could be your actual surroundings where you live at, all right? That's making you feel a little bit boxed around this time, all right? People forcing you to put your mental energy towards things you don't even want to put it towards, trying to cause confusion with you, all right? To make you feel like your belief, you is an issue with you having such a high belief system, is an issue with you, not having certain ceilings to how you perceive things. So this is where the opposite resistance came at. So with this all is being said, this season, it helped you to understand, all right? Because you may have also had a lot of transformations with your friendships and relationships, just by default being opposite, because it put a lot of things in perspective for you to see who's in your corner, all right? Who is it that you could vibe with on a real like-minded frequency about things, and it doesn't come out as a form of blowing your fire out, throwing too much air in your creativity into what you're trying to expand on, what you may be excited and inspired about, all right? You started to gain way more clarity on who you could connect with on them things, okay? So relationships and once again, Sag, you're one of the more optimistic, free-spirited signs of the zodiac, but because of that, you can be open to who you connect to, who you be around, your social circle. At times, that's something that has to get prioritized. So that may have been a huge priority this season, putting people in their places, understanding what people create bad habits, negative habits, all right? What people be having you in some angelic high energies and on demon timing. You was seeing that the whole season, all right? So some discernment was trying to get built here to understand how to set boundaries and organize the people that you're around. All right. Now, also, you guys, I have mentioned who's in your corner. You guys are naturally one of the more inspiring signs in the zodiac. It's your true nature to want to have give other people an uplifting vibe, especially if you see people that you fuck with is down, people that you care about. So it was almost like you were starting to see you was placed in circumstances where you may have to ask yourself, is this person worth me always giving effort to try to uplift them? Because it's almost coming off draining a bit. But I fucks with this person. So that may have just been something like, this person cool, I fuck with them, but I gotta just distance that a little bit, or I have to be conscious of how I deal with that situation. All right. People not always gonna reciprocate the energy I give out. So you may have another energy, you may have felt the extreme, since it's heavy opposite energy, you may have felt the extremes of dealing with priorities. So it may have been a thin line between leisure time, socializing, and handling business. And this season may have been hard to find a balance. You may have ended up falling heavy on one of them energies. Just priorities, trying to put things in order, trying to structure things, which is a great energy to be in right now, especially with heavy retrograde energies. This is helping you gain more stability, ground yourself, be more in the present. You may have felt like you needed to be more in the present this season, or you may have been leaning on the side of being lost in your relationships. A little bit of a chaotic, reckless schedule, all right? So it's important to understand whether what side you was leaning on, all right, is it healthy, and what ways of thinking, okay, you need to be able to adapt to in order to keep a healthy lifestyle, in order to you know, have some boundaries between you and others that you're connected to, for you to keep clarity on who's in your corner, who's reliable, all right, who's on your type time, who you could truly vibe with and be free spirited with instead of feeling box limited, all right. Being more technical and dealing with more rational thinking at times may have been something you had to learn to exercise a bit, all right? And like I said, yeah, you're the natural inspiration, and ultimately you've gained more clarity on who your true friends are this season by default. By default, with Gemini dealing with a huge emphasis and this being your opposite, the flashlight for you was heavy on these things, okay? So it wasn't even that much about, you know, cutting people off. It was just about being more conscious about what type of energies you dive into or you may adapt to, because you got chameleon energy just like Gemini. You know, Gemini is doing it with the intellect, with the air. So, you know, they may got the upward, they may have, you know, a one up on you just by their way to probably use more words, articulate themselves, the way they communicate. But listen, your charisma, your ability to be open-minded, all right, and to learn, this what makes you a chameleon in the world too. This is why, just like Geminis, y'all know a little bit about everything, but y'all get so focused in certain spiritual studies and things that you want to learn about that y'all can dive hard in that too. You feel me? Y'all can become, I don't want to use the word masters because that always limits us to learn more or be better, but y'all become masters in what is it that y'all dive into educational wise, spiritually wise, because the Saggittarius gonna soak up some knowledge and wisdom about some. All right, Saggittarius, so you know, a lot of these opposite energies, these people that you felt resistance towards, the possible chaotic schedule, all of these things, you know, the reasons for these type of habits or circumstances are highlighted, Sag. So coming in, this influence is helping you to understand, all right, how to gain more clarity about how to situate things after this new moon. So as we move into Cancer season, all right, we build more of an understanding, and you know, you about building understanding, all right? So don't sweat nothing you can't control. All right, Sag, that's another one. Don't sweat nothing you can't control right now, you know. You continue to cultivate your fire, your creativity, your vision, you know, the way that you desire to bring things into fruition, and always be open to continuing learning new things, all right? But the people that you're around, really seeing who's true friends, who's genuine true friends, that was a huge emphasis this season. All right, Saggies, until next time.